Hi there, this is John Morey. I have a very interesting topic for you today. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me just go and share the screen. All right, so should you start with rehabbing as a beginner? This is an interesting topic to me because when I first started this journey of being a real estate investor, I actually started rehabbing. I have two at the same time that I did. That was an eye opener and a crazy experience. So we're going to go through the bullet points showing you the pluses and minuses of starting as a beginner. Excuse me. So before I really answer this with a yes and no, so let me just go ahead and go through the bullet points so that you have a better understanding of what you're getting yourself into. Rehabbing involves a lot of cash. It really is cash intensive. See, so many beginners do not realize this. Most of them actually use their own money, and that's actually a problem. Because not everybody has deep pockets. So if you don't have deep pockets, why would you want to start this anyway, right? So, and another reason why rehabbing is a little difficult is because there are just so many moving parts. Again, beginners don't understand this. There's inspections, you have to buy the materials, there's payroll, and there's quite a few surprises that comes up, schedule changes, dealing with contractors, all those things. Nobody teaches a beginner this. So, but that's why I want to just point these things out to you that if you're thinking about being a rehabber, just think about these things. So here's some more. Most beginners do not know how to budget with the work, thus they run out of money. Now, this is actually a major problem. Most of these beginners fail because they do not know how to budget. They run out of money, and this is actually how some investors like us we jump in and we buy those properties at a discount because the work is just half done, ran out of money. Most beginners don't really have the money, and this is a real fact. They have some money, but not a whole lot. Okay. Most beginners think they should do the job themselves. I've had many discussions of this that, oh, I'm going to do the work myself. That'll save me a lot of money. Well, yes and no. Granted, you do the work, you're skilled, you can do this, you save some money, right? But look how much time that you're going to be doing this for, especially if it's a major rehab. It might take you 3 months, 4 months, 5 months to do a job, while others out there are doing other ways to make money and are just killing it, but not doing rehab. So we'll get to that here shortly. Most beginners think they should do, I'm sorry about that. Most beginners do not realize that rehabbing is a job. HDTV makes it look so easy, right? However, it's a job. This is like what I mentioned earlier about there's so many moving parts. It's a job. You have to take care of all this stuff. So it's not the easiest thing. It is a job. All right. Most beginners jump in this without much experience. They don't ask for help from experienced rehabbers. Well, there are people out there that really are good at this. And the beginner does not know how to ask for help. One good thing here is mentor up with somebody. If this is what you really want to do, mentor up with somebody. Then you'll have a better chance of being successful. One big thing that really, if you talk to very seasoned investors, they will tell you that contractor issues is a drain. It's a drain on them financially. It's a drain on them emotionally. Contractors, there are some good ones. There's no doubt. It took me a while to find my right team. In the very beginning, I lost quite a bit of money because of that. That's just reality. And many of my friends have said the same thing. So dealing with contractors, be ready if this is what you want to do. So let's go to my opinion. Okay, but this is just my opinion, and you decide on what you want to do. Okay, so but I'm just giving you all these things for you to think about. So again, like the first one I said, that rehabbing involves a lot of cash, and again, this was a huge problem. At that time for me, I was just without a job, but I did have money to do what I had to do. However, because of the problems, I was a beginner, really new. I ran into so many problems, so money became super tight. I almost really just didn't complete the job. It was horrible. Okay, so this is just real. I'm just being real with you. Rehabbing is a job, like I said. I was constantly on the job site, running around. I didn't know that I needed to have a person that is like my supervisor to take care of that for me, and I'm just the money person. I was the one that was running around. I was the supervisor. I was the GC. So that wasn't good for me. Right now, I'm not saying that I don't do rehabs. I still do them, but as a beginner, I do not want, really honestly, for a beginner to start this way, because this is stressful. It's very stressful. Okay. So like when you're a beginner too, if you really want to do this, start off with a small job, very cosmetic, lots of paint, maybe a roof, even though that's a major one, but somebody's going to do the roof for you, change the roof, do some the paint job, maybe the floors, some minor updates here and there. That's good. There's no demodding of anything. There's no taking away of sheetrock, like a full rehab. You don't want to do that if you want to start here. Find something small and that'll work, like just mostly paint. That's really good. Okay. It is also hard to sift through a long laundry list of contractors, just try to find the right one to do your job for you. When you network, you are going to find good recommendations from other investors. That's really a good way. But again, if you're going to start, you have to find the right contractor, and it's really hard dealing with them. Now, I would like for you to ask yourself this: do I want a job, or do I want to have cash flow? This is a very important question, because if you're going to do rehabbing, you just got yourself a new job, and you're not going to be able to quit your other job if that's what you're trying to do. Cash flow is, for me, is way better. That's why I am today. I just love cash flow. I'm not a big fan of rehabbing. I still do them. I'm just not a big fan of it. But here's another question. Am I going to turn this into a business or a hobby? Well, think about that. I want you to think about that. Rehabbing as a business takes a lot. I've got friends that are very successful doing this. Or one of my friends back in the day told me that, I think it was like last year, he had 42 rehabs going on at the same time, at different stages, of course. That's a business. He's got over 35 employees. A person that does this one or two a month, that's a hobby. So just think about that. Cash flow or work, or you want to turn this into a business or a hobby. So here it is. Here's what I believe. Okay. As a beginner, I really don't recommend starting with rehabbing unless you really have some kind of experience. You do have the funding, you have the connections, and you want to just get into the business because you have all those in place. Great, have at it. Then of course you have to decide, is this going to be a business or is this going to be a hobby? So there's a lot of things to think about, okay? Keep in mind also that if you have a W-2, rehabbing is not going to get you out of it, because this is cash intensive and it takes time. It's not quick money. It does take a lot of time. So think about that. I know some people out there, they keep claiming they want their spouse to not have a not work anymore and just do this full time kind of thing. But when what they do is just rehab, they don't have any cash flow to replace. You have to replace that income. Then that person's not going to leave that job. It's just not going to happen. So think about that. If you are that kind of person that you want to leave your job, your W-2 job, then think about maybe cash flow as opposed to thinking about getting into the rehab business, because it does take a lot of time to do that. So here's some things to look into. I would like for you to look into learning about lease options. Also learn about subject to deals, learn about wholesaling. These right here are not that expensive compared to rehabbing. So please look at these other options before jumping in, okay? So that's what I have for you today. Hopefully, the things that I talked to you about will help you in your decision whether you're going to start with rehabbing or you're going to look into cash flow or other ways to make money in real estate, at least just to get started. I really like to advise people to start with wholesaling because there's a lot of things that happens in there. It teaches you about negotiation, teaches you about contracts, it teaches you how to wheel and deal. So there's a lot that goes into wholesaling. But of course, depending on where you are in the United States, some states this is illegal. So please check with your real estate investors in town and the laws and all that. So please always look into that. So have a good day and thank you for watching.